Welcome to the Intune Guitar Academy. Today we're going to be talking about something really important. One of the most important things you need to know about, need to learn about how to maintain your guitar, and that's changing the strings. Now there's two reasons to change your strings. First reason is your strings just become old, or as the way most guitarists will tell you, they sound dead. And when the strings sound dead, they just don't ring out nearly as much as they normally would when they're new. The reason why that happens is that your fingers normally have oil and sweat. Of course, everybody sweats. Everybody has oil on their fingers. Doesn't matter how clean you are. When you play the guitar, some of that oil and sweat transfers to the strings. The dust that surrounds us will cling to the strings and eventually fill in the little bumps and gaps that are in the strings, and eventually coat the strings with that dust, dirt, and so on. So they just get worn and they don't sound as nice as they used to. I also find they get harder to keep in tune when they become dead. The other reason why your strings need to be changed is because you break a string, and that's what happened to me the other day when I was playing my Fender Stratocaster. I was trying to play some Pink Floyd, trying to keep up with David Gilmour. Fat chance that ever happening, but man, does that guy ever bend his strings. So I was trying to keep up with that, bending my strings, and eventually my E string broke. My high E string, that's the number one string. So that's why it's important to remember your string names. So after I broke my strings, I kind of realized it's been a long time since I changed the strings on my electric guitar. So I went down to my favorite store, one of my favorite stores along in McQuaid, and I got a pack of electric guitar strings. Now they come in different sizes, different gauges. I chose number 10s. They're known as 10s because the high E string is a 10 gauge, and that's considered regular light gauge. And the strings that I always choose are D Addario. They're spelled D apostrophe Addario. My favorite strings. It's what I've known to use for many years, and just grown accustomed to the sound. It's what I use on my acoustic. It's what I use on my electric, and usually if I change my bass guitar strings, I'll go with the same brand. So to begin, what you need to do is, of course, take off the strings. Now there's different ways of reattaching the strings. If on my acoustic I have locking tuners, on the Strat I just have regular tuners. Now some people will wind it around once and put the loose part through the two parts of the string, or you could just wind it around and let the tension grab on. That's what I do. So first things first, we have to take off the strings. So these ones are wound counterclockwise around the post. So you just turn the string clockwise to unloosen it, to loosen the string. So you just loosen them one by one until there's less tension that you can pull the string right off. So if I can show you how I'm just turning the tuner clockwise until there's no tension, and I can easily pull off the string. Just turn it a bit more. So, and then you just unwind it and pull it through. And with the Strat, the strings go through the bottom of the guitar. You just have to line it up so that it comes right through. There you go. You just have to find the trick to pull it through, then you just pull it right through. So that one is no good, and you can tell if you look up close, it kind of becomes black. So your silvery strings turn a darker hue, almost black. So that then you know it's really time to change. Or as I mentioned, if you break one of the strings, you might as well change them all. If you're playing live and you're on the fly, well, then you just change that one particular string. But if you break one string, you might as well change them all, because I like to have them all sound the same. So the next string I turn is the third one, so that's your E string, high E, B, and then G. So I'm taking off the G string. E's already gone because that's the one that I broke. So just turn it, and I'm pulling on with the other hand till I feel less tension, so I can just pull it through, and you hear it popping, kind of making that funny popping sound. That means that the tension's really off, and then you just unwind it and pull that through like so, and then on the back again you just line it up and it pulls right out like that. That's the way Strat is. On an acoustic it's kind of the opposite. You don't push it through, you put this fat end through the hole, then you push it in and then put the little white pegs to hold it in place. Whereas this particular electric, you push the strings through the base of the guitar. So they have the little holes. It's just like a metal piece that's got holes drilled into it, and you push the string through to put them on, and then you pull them back out the other way to take them off. You just wind them up like so. And once they're done, they're done. You just throw them away. There's no point in keeping them. I like buying a 3-pack because number one, it's a little bit less expensive per pack of strings, and it gives you a backup in case the same thing happens a little further down the road. So then we work our way up. So we've done E, B, G. Now I'm on to the D string. I'm turning that clockwise. Sorry, I had a bit of a drink before I started here. Keep the image in the background. A little bit of sunset. It's a picture it's actually sunrise I took in Cayo, Cuba. I'm Canadian, so I'm allowed to travel down to Cuba. A really nice place to vacation. Poor country. You feel bad for the people there, but really nice to vacation. And every time I've gone there, I've always found the people super friendly. So anyway, and pull the neck string through the bottom of the guitar. And because it's wound up, you might have to give it a bit of a tug. See, the end is bent out of shape because it was wrapped around the post. So I wrap it up again, just around my finger, like so. And then we work our way up to the A, so E, high E, B, G, D, and then A. A is the 5th string. If you remember back to one of the original videos that I posted about how to learn a 3-chord song, we talked about the different strings on the guitar. The 5th string is the A string. So I'm turning it clockwise to release the tension on the string so I can pull it through. So, and I pop it off, and again through the back of the guitar you kind of just push it out. You see it coming through, and it comes through like that, and pull it out, and again you gotta get a bit of a tug because it's meant to the shape of the, I don't want to break anything here. It's nice to have a tool on hand. This is actually a wire cutter, so I gotta be careful how much there we go. Just pull it through by a pair of pliers, needle nose pliers or wire cutters. I grabbed it at the bottom of the base so it wouldn't cut the wire, so I just had enough to pull it through. Wrap up the string. That just so it's easy to throw away. It doesn't pop out back into shape inside your garbage can. Just make a little circle like that. And then the last string we do is the 6th string, which is the low E. It's the lowest. So again, I'm turning it clockwise to loosen it up. loosened it just enough to unravel it, and then I push it through the back again. See it coming through like that. And again, this one's a bit stuck. Take my wire cutters. Probably should have had a pair of needle nose, but this is what I had on hand, so I just grab it enough to pull it through. And then once all the strings are done, then I put my guitar on a proper guitar stand so I don't drop it. See, it's on the guitar stand, and lock it into place so it doesn't fall down, or if my cat comes around he doesn't knock it off. So now that I've taken off all the strings, next part is to clean it. So what you need is a cloth like so. This came with in a kit. Again, I bought this at Long and McQuaid, where I buy most of my stuff, most of my music equipment and supplies. So this is Gibson's guitar polish. There's many different kinds. This just happened to be on sale at the time I bought it. It came in a kit with the cloth. I think my dog got to this one, so the hazards of having pets around is that they go after my things. So then you want to polish your guitar because it gets full of fingerprints and skin, dried on skin, and sweat. Sounds kind of gross, but I mean, it's part of playing guitar. You're interfacing with a piece of wood, so whatever's on you ends up on the guitar. So we want to take some polish, start with the back, and just lightly spray. Don't want too much of it on, just a little bit, and then wipe it down. Not only is polishing your guitar make it look nice and shiny, it also makes it sound better, I find. And then just smoother to the touch. Wipe that down, get all the smudges off, so. And then polish the neck. Just give it a little mist, not too much, you don't want to overdo it. Rub that down, and that taking off the grease and stuff that builds up on the back of your neck will help you move your hand up and down the neck a lot easier. And then now on the front side you have all the sensitive electronics. With an acoustic, it's not that much of a problem with an electric guitar. I want to make sure that I don't interfere with the sensitive electronics, so I'll spray the cloth instead of the actual face of the guitar, and just rub out all the smudges, make it nice and clean, shiny. You see the lights reflecting, my video lights reflecting onto the guitar, so you know it's nice and clean. In between the pickups, at the back end of the neck, just anywhere dirt or grease will accumulate. It looks a lot nicer when you polish it down. When you take off the strings, it's a perfect opportunity to polish your guitar, so you notice. Now, I like to do the top of the strings. So this, my brother showed me this. Use a Q-tip. I had a Q-tip near. Oh, here. My Q-tip. My brother showed me this many years ago. Is you use a Q-tip to clean along the fret edges. So we take our polish, and on the front side we spray down a little bit more, so we can wet the Q-tip or cotton swab. Should be more precise. So all the way up and down on the fret edges, just the top and back and front of each of these frets. Fret edges like so. And because I don't play this guitar too much, you know, it's kind of a hassle for me. I live in a townhome, so it's not always the easiest thing for me to plug in and wail away, so a lot of times I'm playing my acoustic. But, you know, play this a bit, stuff accumulates. You notice that right here. gets all black or green. This is actually green. So it's a little bit of oxidization from the strings onto the edge of the fret. Just flip it around. And then going up and down, just the top and bottom. And then I work my way up. Not to be super precise, just get some of that crud off. That's my technical term for today, the crud. Get the crud off your guitar. And you don't want to wait too long because you don't want this stuff drying on. So it is a polish, and you don't want dry polish onto your guitar. And then you try to wipe down the nut a little bit too, because you will get accumulation on there as well. So once that's done, you notice how gross that is. It's a little green. I'm not sure if you see that so well, but anyways, it's a little bit dirty. Oh, 2 points. Got it into the garbage. So, and then take my cloth and wipe it down some more. Get that polish right off. Get the polish off. Just rub it. Yes. Just like rub it like you do anything to clean. Make sure that's nice and dry. Don't want any of that residue staying on your guitar. Look at that. Beautiful. Nice and shiny. The neck is shiny. The guitar, the body of the guitar is nice and shiny. So then, since I got my cloth out and it's still a little bit wet, I'll just spray it down some more. And then just hit the cloth a little bit. Just a little tiny bit. Just like you're washing a window or a mirror. And wipe down the back. Like so. And wipe down the front. Make sure there's no residue. I love this guitar. It's a Fender Stratocaster made in Mexico. I don't really mind that it's made in Mexico. This is it right on the back. Made in Mexico with a serial number. I find they're just as nice as the American ones. The American ones, of course, are the top of the line. They're made in California in Fender's flagship factory, but way more expensive. Double the price or even more. And for my purposes, I just love the Mexican made stuff. I have a Mexican made bass, Fender P bass, and my Fender Strat's a Mexican Strat, and my other acoustic guitar is a Fender acoustic made in China. So anyway, I love Fender guitars.